I was quite surprised that I could get a qualification doing through KYTHE, because it wouldn't be the first thing that comes to mind when you think of getting a qualification. But yeah, it's great that you can get a qualification in something that you enjoy doing.
I undertook the youth award I did because I had just left school just at the start of last summer and really kind of didn't know what to do, and the skills that I thought I could develop were much more relevant to me than the qualifications I had gained so far.
The youth award that I've done is the Dynamic Youth Award, which I did over lockdown. I did it on a baking sessions that we did every Friday.
We felt the youth awards supported the informal approach of youth work, and also kind of gave a certificate to, at the end for the young people to carry forward from here, confirming their goals that they've created.
So back in 2019 we attended the Youth Scotland Awards through our Youth Work Partnership alongside the Ganachie Trust and Perth and Kinross Council, and from there it really just clicked, and I thought, that's something really achievable that we can deliver alongside youth work, but that young people could actually achieve quite easily.
So the Ganachie Trust is aware that high quality youth work happens throughout Scotland in every locality that youth work is provided. In order to ensure that we see a quality outcome from that youth work, we believe an accredited non-formal learning process provides those key parts of ensuring young people opt in to plan their involvement. They deliver and are recognised for their delivery, but most importantly they reflect on what that learning has been.
So youth awards for us really complement the work that we do in terms of programmes or workshops. So we kind of run them alongside the projects and the workshops that we do, such as art, music, technical stuff, and we find that it's a really good complementary to that in terms of getting something for doing something.
We felt the Youth Scotland Awards had a clear framework to work from, and not dead easy, but we felt it was enough for young people to get their teeth into. And also, it was an easy framework for youth workers to follow along with the young person. And therefore, we felt again that we could, it added value to an experience for young people.
I did a high five award and I didn't actually know that I could have done it until afterwards, because it was for attending art sessions held at KYTHE, and I was told afterwards, oh, you could get an achievement for coming to these sessions, and I was like, oh, that's quite cool. I'll do that then. And then I went on to do a Bronze Youth Achievement Award.
Some of the challenges in delivering the awards have been around just sometimes working out how we go about supporting a young person in their goal and their challenge. Every young person's goal is different, and so the challenge lies with sussing out how we support that.
Young people struggling to articulate what they've done, even though they can tell me face to face what they've done, but actually writing it down on a bit of paper or on the computer is quite difficult for them.
The challenges that I've found so far doing my award is mainly just for my Youth Achievement Award, just compiling all the evidence and having enough evidence to submit it. So I'm working on that bit now, getting enough evidence.
I need to get all the recipes and then get it out also on publication kind of thing. And so that bit was quite challenging, and also some of the paperwork just in general was quite difficult for myself.
I think what I got out of the award was I got a lot of training. I had done the Platinum Youth Achievement Award, which comes with a training section where you have to undertake a certain amount. And from that training, it really developed my skills that I can now use in any job that I'll do. I've
definitely learned a lot more about leadership kind of thing, and also just trying how to more easily kind of work with a group, and just speaking to them and trying to like help everybody at the same time while still all being on a group.
Things that I've got out of doing this award are probably mainly personal achievement, knowing what I've achieved, and just like learning how to present evidence in a more like easier way to understand it, for people to understand it.
So I ended up going in school and doing our actual practical cake course, and I've also been helping out in the kitchen in KYTHE quite a while.
Qualifications have never been a significant thing. I really did not enjoy school that much, but the practical element of the award and the sense of achievement I got from the award was more important for me personally than the qualification that it brought.
I think if we've learned any lessons, it's around right at the beginning, when we sit down with a young person and say, what's your goal and how do we refine and probably make the most of the time? Because the time, everybody's time's limited to something. So I think in some cases, certainly with if we call it going for the Youth Achievement Awards, there's a tremendous amount of commitment involved from the young person and the youth worker. And so it's really trying to, how do you put a time on that? Where do you start and where do you end?
Through introducing the Youth Awards as a complementary to what we do, I found not only the uptake in the awards a lot higher by delivering it as a package deal, but also the confidence in accreditation for young people is just really good. Seeing young people realising that they have achieved something, recognised by the SQA in doing some art or doing some music is really, really invaluable. It's priceless.
So if KYTHE is operating accredited awards, it requires them to go through a quality process with those young people. And that process is about quality youth work. So involving young people in the planning of the activities they're involved in, ensuring delivery and recording evidence of what's been delivered and reflecting on those achievements, all builds a quality youth work delivery picture that they're then able to promote to others that they're seeking funding from, or localities that they want to open up new youth work provision in.
The reason I would recommend doing an award is because of the type of learner that I am. The hands-on element to the award was, I absorbed a lot more from it than I would have in a school lesson for however long. So I think that doing an award just brings a better sense of achievement for people that don't enjoy the school setting.
I would have done the baking stuff anyway, but I got a qualification out of it, so you can get a qualification out of just doing something that you're interested in and something that you'll really, really enjoy, and it's very practical, which I think works well with a lot of people in learning. And in school, it's a very much heavily on the academic, and it doesn't always work with some people.
I think that the school setting for me was a lot more difficult to learn, and it was only one type of learning, so you were kind of sitting, reading, reciting, and just basically trying to remember everything for one exam, whereas the award was more of a development for me personally, and a lot more reflection on how I was doing.
I think the value of these awards to the young person are tremendous. I think it gives them a real sense of achievement because they've come up with the goal, they've come up with the idea, and when they get the award they've actually travelled a journey. And with regards to the qualification and sharing what they did, telling a story, I think for us in youth work, the storytelling behind achievements is actually where the gold is, you know.
So it isn't about celebrating the piece of paper, it's about celebrating the journey that was involved in achieving that piece of paper that states their level of award and the certification gained.
We had an awards giving ceremony, which was the first we'd ever done, and we invited parents and friends and family along to our centre here, and we made an evening of it, an awards giving evening, and from that I think it was really important that parents heard what their young people have done here, because like any teenager, you know, they go home, how was your day? Fine, and then they disappear into their room. But sometimes it's nice for us to be able to shout about their young people to them.
We were fairly confident that introducing awards to young people through the work that we do would bring benefits to them and added value to the work that we do. So I think it's been it's added to our service, introducing awards alongside the work that we do. So yeah, it's been good, worthwhile.
I definitely recommend doing the awards to everyone who has the chance to, because they're a really good opportunity to learn more and about yourself and be confident in yourself and what you can do.